Hey team, in today's video I'm going to go over 4 things that I wish I realised sooner when I first started boxing. So let's dig into this. So if you're watching this channel, it's because you're interested in boxing, and I guarantee you're watching other channels, which you should be as well, because you should be getting as much credible information from as many credible coaches as you can, particularly in the beginning. So you have heard this one before. But I didn't realise this when I first started boxing. The importance of footwork. Footwork, it is your delivery system, it's how you get your punches to the target. Now why I say I didn't realise it in the start, and you may have this problem as well. When we first start, it's all about I just want to smash the bag, I want to smash the pads, I want to hit it as hard as I can. And although a coach is telling you, concentrate on your footwork, so it's not like it's a bad coach, you don't understand the importance of it when you first start. It's literally how you get to your target. Not only that, it is your first line of defense as well. The best block in the world is simply moving and making them miss. Make them miss, make them pay. If I had my time again, I would start completely just doing footwork drills again to really cement that, rather than have to go part way down the journey and then realise my footwork was completely terribly wrong and have to go back and correct mistakes I'd already made muscle memory. So this is social media, and there's lots of things that grab your attention because people do it for likes and fame and stuff like that as well. I don't. I just want to get good information across. I don't really care about that sort of thing. So you see lots of things about do this to improve your footwork. Not really. I mean, it does get you lighter on your feet, don't get me wrong. Concentrate on your basic footwork. There's 2 types of footwork you need. The one that I call movement step and recovery step, and the more pendulum style in here as well. So to get better at footwork, you need to do footwork, not some fancy drill that someone has shown you on TikTok. And all it is, understand the basics. Whichever direction you're moving in, you lead with that foot. So if I'm going forwards, lead forwards, backwards, backwards, left, left, right, right. We've been over that 100 times. Just pay attention to the little nuances. However far the movement step goes, the recovery step goes the same. Yeah, so it's no good going, losing my stance, or losing my stance. That is a classic beginner one that I see all over the place. Don't do it. When people go backwards, it feels cool. They go and do that little rhythm step from there. But the reason why I was getting beat all of the time, I couldn't get my punches off to a target where I wanted them to go, it was because of my feet. Top tip, it is boring and it feels like you're not progressing because you're not punching something, and this is boxing. Work your feet. Have the ability to get your foundation around the ring without losing this toe heel alignment, or if you're this way around like me, without being here and going like this, okay? Because I don't care if you've got the biggest knockout punch in the world, if you can't get to target without kind of doing this, you're going to lose it. So number 1, I wish I realised that sooner. The absolute imperative importance of footwork. Number 2 then, leading on from what I've just said, which is one of the common problems to begin with, is not every punch has to be humanity ending. Okay? It doesn't have to be as hard as you can. Skill, technique, lots of your punches will be throwaway punches and set-up punches. However, in the beginning, we do see a bag, we stand in front of it, not thinking about footwork, we just stay in range, and it's like, I know the technique was bad, I've done that deliberately. And we just hit it with all of our might because we feel like we're working hard, we feel like we're getting a good workout. We're not really achieving an advancement in skill. Those of you that do spar, I've still got a bit of a chest problem. Those of you that do spar, you will understand that you probably miss more punches than what you land, okay? Other punches are there to set up. Not every punch has to be humanity ending. And it's not being lazy to make sure you're working on your bag. Putting some lighter and quicker punches in. If you're just going into your bag sessions, your pad sessions or whatever, and just trying to throw bombs, which I did to start with, you're going to hamper and slow down your process. So number 2 is not every punch has to be humanity ending. Learn to relax, learn to double things up, triple things up, move around. It's more important that you are moving your hands, moving your head and moving your feet than it is just throwing these type of shots. So make sure you are doing that in your training. Not everything has to be humanity ending. The other thing is, when I'm here and I'm coaching, I listen to punches because everyone does it. They all try and just, it's the bag, no, someone hit it. And I hear the same rhythm. You hear someone going, kind of like this. It's the same rhythm. Punch, 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 punch. Excuse me. Whereas if you learn that not every punch is humanity ending, you can change the rhythm, change the speed, change the power. So instead of punch, 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 which is easily defendable, punch, 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 yeah. Lessening things up a little tiny bit changes rhythm, speed, and power. There's no rhythm for you to follow, so it makes it more elusive. So let's look at number 3. If, like me, first time you walked into a boxing gym or you're thinking about walking into a boxing gym, it can be quite intimidating because people are there punching, blah, blah, blah. It's quite intimidating. And when my coach said to me, I want you to shadow box, 1, I didn't really know what I was doing. And 2, I felt very vulnerable, probably, that people were watching and I didn't know what I was doing. So I tended to shy away from the shadow boxing so much because I felt silly, okay? And that's an egotistical thing. Maybe I shouldn't have had that, but I felt silly shadow boxing. And I see that a lot as well. You see people in here, if they're sort of warm up and doing their shadow boxing, they're not really shadow boxing. What they're doing is just kind of putting their blinkers on, hoping no one's watching them, and just kind of like... And then watch them come alive when they get to hit the bag. The importance of shadow boxing. 100%. Probably, in my opinion, better for you than bag work, better for you than pad work. Bags and pads do have the tendency to draw out that every punch has to be humanity ending. Plus, if you're not good with your feet, going back to number 1, footwork, so your range is completely wrong. You do see a lot of people sort of in here, and the punches, I know I'm doing this soft, that's not a straight backhand. Yeah, you get too close and you don't understand the range side of things. When you don't have anything to actually hit, you'll get full extension of your punches. Because it'd be silly to shadow box like this, wouldn't it? So here, I'll do here. That just looks stupid, doesn't it? Yeah. So you will be fully extending your punches, getting a bit of snap on it. Because there's no one in front of you, you tend not to go and load up. Going back to the humanity ending punches, I probably have seen someone do this, but I doubt, or very rarely, you see someone doing this. Shadow boxing someone like that, which you do see on the back, okay? Work your technique shadow boxing. That's nice. Keep your frame, keep your footwork, your hands up, chin down, elbows tight, keep your head moving. Work on that foot extension, getting your feet involved in it as well. And make sure it's nice and tight. And my top tip, we didn't have this back in the day, film yourself. Yeah, lots of gyms have mirrors. Film yourself. Watch for the little errors. Pick up on it and correct it. You would advance your boxing way quicker working your shadow boxing, which will include your footwork, technique, and you won't be loading your punches up because there's nothing to hit. Guaranteed that makes your boxing better straight away. Okay, number 4. And for me, this is a big one. This was a mistake. I come from the school of hard knocks. Even as little as 12 years ago, when it came to sparring, it was go hard or go home. Simple as that. There was no other way. Every single sparring session was a fight. Now, I do understand the reasons why we used to do that. Train hard, fight easy. I've had this conversation with one of the more experienced boxers in here, and he comes from the school of hard knocks as well. And we've both said when it came to actually fighting, the fights were easier than the sparring session. So there is that. There is that. However, I really wish I'd have understood this sooner, and I really wish more coaches understood this. Firstly, you do not have to be sparring to enjoy boxing, okay? In most of the gyms around the world, a lot of people just go there for the fitness. And I still say to this day, you don't have to be a fighter to train like one. So don't feel pressured to spar. But I really wish I understood the importance of light, playful sparring when I first got into it. You will learn way more by playful sparring than you will having these big wars. One of the reasons why I'm so injured now is because of those gym wars that we used to have back in the day. Because they were harder than the actual fights. And it's not good. The only thing you really learn in hard sparring, there's a time and a place for hard sparring. If you have a fight coming up and you are in a fight camp, you will need to have some hard sparring. Because if you don't, when you go into that sudden adrenaline-fueled situation of an actual fight, it'll be that whole shock and awe situation and you'll start to panic. So you do need to do that if you're going to fight. However, if you're curious about sparring, but you don't want to go down the actual competition route, you can have a lot of fun with sparring by keeping it super light, super playful. And you'll learn way more from not having to worry, am I going to get sparked out tonight? Am I going to get my nose bust? Is my jaw going to get took off my head? Yeah, all right, so you should be keeping nice and tight, but if we agree in here that it's a light sparring session, I'm just loose. I'm actually obviously this way around. I'm not too worried because I know this person's throwing their shots light back again. So if I do get caught, it's just a little touch. Okay, oh, I made a mistake there. So I'm nice and loose. I'm just kind of throwing like this. There's no ego in it. I'm not trying to win the spar. What I'm doing is enjoying the spar. There's a difference. So one thing, if you are going to go down that road, make sure you're with someone that you trust, because accidents do happen. Even if I throw this nice and light, but you jump into it, that's just double the impact. Accidents do happen. It's why you've got to be controlled. But your ability to learn and try new things by keeping it light, keeping it playful, will increase your ability so much more. You might try something for the first time and you've been working on a bag and it doesn't work because you haven't got the nuances and you haven't got the timing right yet. If you're constantly going with someone who's trying to take your head off, chances are you are trying to survive their attack and then trying to kill them afterwards. You're not really thinking about how can I make this situation work here, what's the timing of this, blah, blah, blah. Or you're doing back, oh, got caught on that, I've got something wrong there, hang on, I've got to get this right. Light, playful sparring. If I had two things, if the doctor told to me there's only two things I can do in boxing for the rest of my life, it would be shadow boxing and light, playful sparring. 100%. They are, for me, they're the most enjoyable things. The age I am now, 50, I don't enjoy hard sparring. I shouldn't do it anyway. I'm old, I'm broken. Most people in here are younger than me. So it's not fun. I enjoy the light, playful stuff these days. Not to say that I haven't had my wars, I've had some big wars. But these days, it's just light and playful for me. Now, does that mean, or maybe you're thinking, well, you're just a bit of a pussy nowadays because you're old. It's not that. To this day, I don't think I know everything about boxing, I don't. So there's still things I work on, still things I want to try on people, try and get the timing down on it. What you have to be careful of with light sparring, don't be the person who you're going light and accept that the other person just decides to bully you and go hard. That's a no-no. One, it's going to end up bad, because if I'm nice and light and relaxed and all of a sudden a hard shot comes in because the other person can't control themselves, I've got more chance of getting concussed because I'm not braced for the punch. Here, if I'm hard sparring, I will be braced all the time. Light sparring, it's nice and relaxed. So if that hard punch comes in, that's what's going to rattle your brain. So, light sparring with someone that you trust and understand the level that you're going to go at. Wish I knew that sooner, back in the day. There's obviously more things that I wish I realised sooner. But in the thought process of making this video, they were the four that I really, really wish I realised sooner. Because every single one of those four things held up my progress. Well, I held up my progress because I didn't concentrate on the things I should be concentrating on. Footwork, 100%. I know everyone tells you that, and everyone tells you that for a reason. It is paramount. Not every punch has to be humanity ending. Learn to set up your power shots. Do a drill what I call light and continuous on your bag. Light and continuous for an entire round. The bag should hardly be moving. I'm just... not putting any power behind it, just learning to control that from there. Excuse me. Shadow boxing, 100%. It does, if you're new to boxing, it does feel awkward. If you're just learning from home, fantastic, because you can shut yourself in a room somewhere and not have to worry. But if you step into a gym full of killers and you're the new guy and you're still a little bit timid, it's very, very strange to shadow box. If you have the confidence to do so and you're friendly with some of the guys who are more experienced, ask them for tips on your shadow boxing, or ask them to watch you shadow box and give you some pointers. Okay? And honestly, sparring is not something you should be afraid of, and you don't have to do it. But if you've got someone you trust and you can light spar, it is one of the most fun things you can do. Your heart rate will go through the roof, your skill level will go up, it will work your defense, you'll suddenly start to understand the importance of moving your head, which you probably tend not to do too much on a punch bag. And it all starts to fall in place. So, what I'd like you to do, if you're a bit more advanced than a beginner boxer, let me know your thoughts on light sparring. Hard sparring, in my opinion, has its place. The majority of your sparring should be light so you can learn. Keep it light, keep it playful. Till next time, train hard, train safe, train intelligently, and I'll see you soon.